Today our topic is going to be on portion control. Please welcome Sister Amina Khan.
Jazakallah khair, everyone. How is everyone doing? Okay, let's get a big round of applause for all the vendors who are doing an amazing job, bringing it with amazing food for us here today, right? So I have some news for you guys. With great food comes great responsibility, right? At Amanah Fitness, we're all about enjoying your food, having a great relationship with food, but also working on being healthy, making sure that we are healthy so we can enjoy our food when it counts. I mean, there's this point when you're eating, you're having a great time and you're enjoying the food. There's this point that everyone gets to. It's like you're walking and you see there's a cliff, right? So as you're walking down, you're on that hill, that path, and that path is enjoyment of food. But that cliff is overeating and feeling bloated and stuffed and feeling terrible. So the fact is that most people, they're enjoying their food, they're walking, and they get closer and closer to that cliff, right? They get closer and closer, and they can feel their stomach expanding. They can feel themselves getting more full, and they get closer to the cliff, and they get to that point. There's that one point when you're eating, and you're like, if I eat one more bite, I am going to die. And most people, they look at that point and they plunge headlong into that cliff. They're like, I don't care, this food is worth it. And the result of that is that, very next day, actually just an hour later, they're passed out on the couch and they're wondering, was it really worth those few extra bites? Was that last samosa really worth jumping over that cliff? So that's what this is about. We're going to talk about how to get yourself away from that cliff so you can stay in control, so you can enjoy your food, but at the same time, you are staying away from that danger zone. You know when you are getting too close, and you know how to stay in control with your portions. Does that sound good? Awesome. So we know from an Islamic perspective that overeating is not where we want to be. That's not something that's promoted in the Sunnah. That's not something that is promoted as part of our Islamic heritage. We know that, overeating is problematic. We know that when you get to that point when you're just stuffing food down, you're not getting that benefit from the food. You're not using the food to nourish yourself at that point. At that point, you're just stuffing it down. You're just thinking about, okay, this tastes great. But we all know that we get to that point and food doesn't even taste good when you're just stuffing it down like that, right? So I really want us to go back into really enjoying our food more by staying in control, okay? So when it comes to staying in control, we have to know our limits. We have to know when we are getting too close to that cliff. And unfortunately, so many of us, we are just so unable to realize when we're getting full. Well, it's just natural. Portion sizes are humongous in restaurants. You get to the restaurant and you order one food, and then someone drops a plate of food on your table that's like the size of 4 people, right? So we're so used to overeating, that we just are not used to eating a normal amount. And then when people actually eat the amount that their stomach can handle, they're like, man, this is nothing. But we have to go back to that. We have to go back to eating the right amount for our bodies. So I really wanted to encourage everyone that when you're eating, the biggest tip I can recommend for you is to slow down, okay? When you slow down, you start to realize what is going in your mouth. It's like everyone's in a frenzy. As soon as the food comes to your table, you're like, I gotta get at it. It's gonna run away from you in 2 minutes. Your food is not going anywhere. Slow down, take it slow. And once you start eating slowly, something magical happens. Your brain stops and it's like, I am being fed. I am getting food. And I can actually realize that I'm full. So it actually takes some time for your brain to realize that you're full. But most people, they outrun their brain. They're eating so much that by the time their brain realizes what's happened, they've eaten the amount of 4 dinners. So we have to slow it down, keep it in control and realize that our brains need time to catch up. We have to slow down and let ourselves realize that I am satisfied. That kind of leads into my second tip. We have to start eating mindfully. What does that mean? A lot of people talk about mindful eating. Mindful eating is not sitting in front of a TV and stuffing down 3 bags of chips. When you're just mindlessly doing something else while you're eating, let's be honest, you're not even enjoying your food. Lots of studies have been conducted in movie theaters where they give people at the movies stale popcorn. They're like, here, take this stale popcorn, it tastes terrible, and everybody eats it because they just want to be feeding themselves. So when you're just eating and you're doing something else, you're not able to realize what you're eating and how much you're eating. So in addition to slowing down, I have a request, and it's a big one. I just need everyone to try and stop doing 5,000 things when we're eating, right? Try to not, stare into your screen while you're eating. It's like the screen is hypnotizing you. You're like, the screen is on and your hands are going, and then you're like, oh, all my 4 bags of chips are gone. I wonder how that happened. Enjoy the food that's in your mouth. You can't taste it after it's gone from there. Just calm down and eat, and don't do anything else when you're eating, okay? So that's my request. So we talked about that endless bag of chips that you're munching on while you're watching TV, right? This is the problem. People are eating from endless bags of food, and then they get to the bottom and they're like, what happened? So let me tell you what happened. You're eating from a huge bag of food. Of course you're going to eat the whole thing, especially when you're eating in front of the TV. So to combat that, everybody, do not eat from massive bags of food. We have these things, they're called measuring cups. Measuring cups, they're amazing, I really encourage you to use the measuring cup like it's a bowl. So you grab the measuring cup, you go over to your favorite snack, and you scoop it up. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to eat this much, and when I get to the bottom of the measuring cup, I'm going to stop. So when you do that, you're automatically staying in portion control. When you're eating calorie-dense foods like nuts, those are high in their caloric density. You want to use smaller measuring cups, and then you can enjoy all those foods. So I'm not saying you have to cut out anything. Again, it's about balance. It's about using portion control to be a smart consumer. And I actually really like how we're doing today samples. So that sample, you get a nice taste of the food. You're not eating the whole thing, and you just get to taste it, and it's in a controlled way for your body. So use that attitude of sampling when it comes to your favorite food. Use little measuring cups. Never, ever, ever eat from the bag, okay? So, there we had measuring cups. Another trick I'm going to say is make use of dollar store little portion zippy bags, okay? These are amazing. You can get them anywhere. It's like $1 for the whole box, and I think your health is worth that. So when you have one of these zippy bags, when you're running off to work, how about fill a little zippy bag with some healthy food? If you do that, you will always have a healthy, portion-controlled snack with you. Don't underestimate the power of portion control. Keep these little bags with you all the time. They will serve you well. You will never overeat. You can eat it and throw out the bag. So move away from enormous bags. Let's get back to nice, small, portion-controlled bags, okay? Awesome. So speeding right along, I want to go back to that study that I was telling you about. A lot of research has been done showing that people eat more when they're using bigger containers. So for example, they did this test where they gave some people this enormous box of popcorn. Then they gave other people a big box, but it wasn't as big as the huge box, right? So they found that the people who had that humongous box, they ate more of the popcorn, and neither one of them finished their box of popcorn. So both of them, just because the bowl was bigger, they ate more. Think about that. When you eat with bigger bowls, you eat more. So what does the smart consumer do? They eat in smaller plates. So here's a regular size plate, right? How about you use one of these? It's a small little plate. It's like I shrunk it down. It's like magic. When you use a plate like this, you will never overeat. You can fill it up and you will still never overeat. So by doing this, you can enjoy your food in a smaller plate, and your stomach will not even know that you are applying portion control to it. So that's how you trick yourself into eating better, eating healthier, eating less, just by using a smaller plate. How crazy is that? So my last little thing is, when you're baking, when you're cooking, so many people, they make this huge plate, right? We really need to realize that when you're eating from a huge dish of food, it's the same thing as eating from an endless bag of snacks. So I have a suggestion. How about you cook everything in a muffin tin or a portion-controlled container? You can make lasagna in this. You can make whatever food you like. Just make it in a portion-controlled container. When you do that, you're like, how much should I eat? Oh, I know, it's just one. It's just one piece. So then you're making it easy for yourself. You're not trying to fight with your willpower. You're not trying to do anything because you look at it and your dinner is right in one little container. Similarly, these muffin cups. You know, people, they're making like a huge cake, and then they eat the whole cake, and then they wonder why our whole society is having weight problems. So if you made your cake, your batter, right? Why don't you put it into a nice little muffin tin? And then you have a cute little muffin whenever you want something sweet to eat. You can freeze it in the muffin tin. You can pull it out whenever you want it. So that is so much better. You can grab it, you can go, and then you never ever have to say, oh my God, I'm eating too much, because it's all portioned out for you. That's the secret. You make it easy for yourself, and you're gonna do it. If you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you don't just, say, I want to do it, you do something about it. So you start having portion control in your life, and you will not even realize, you'll start being healthier, inshallah. So I know everyone here can, stay healthy. You're doing it today. You're having these sample sizes, which is exactly what we want. So just continue that in your daily life, inshallah. Check us out. We do nutrition education programs. We're all about teaching you how to eat healthy, how to live healthy, and know how much your body needs. Get back in touch with the needs of your body. So check us out, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum.